How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Jody Geek. Welcome back to the channel. And as ever, I'm joined by my best buds on YouTube. We've got James. How are you, James?
Hello, baby.
Oh, Efren, you've not been live with James for a little while. This is his new thing. He doesn't do AO anymore. He does hello, baby.
Hello, baby. It's supposed to be. It's spooky. It's the idea.
No, it's not creepy in a spooky way, James. It's creepy in a sex offender kind of way, I think.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit, yeah.
Maybe that's the most accurate reflection of me in real life.
How are you anyway? Are you well?
I'm very well, man. The gang's back together. We've not done one of these in a while, so I'm excited. And I like that we don't have to prep anything. I don't have to think about anything coming onto this one. Like, we just talk. So that's always nice.
I don't. I'm feeling naked without the slide deck. But yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
I've seen you naked, Peter.
Yeah.
It's like to see.
What do you mean? Oh God! I could only dream of seeing us naked. How are you? Are you well?
Guys, how's it going, man? We were talking so much behind before we came on. I go, we got to be quiet. You know, we had some interesting topics right before we even went on. You know, so but I'm doing great. Love being on with you guys. Yeah. Looking forward to this day. I miss you guys too, man. It's become a natural thing seeing you guys at least once or twice a week.
Have to,
yeah.
And Efren, the viewers will no doubt notice there's something slightly different about you. What's going on with the headgear?
I just decided to try and see if I like them. You know, if looking more professional for you, Peter and James. You know, so
you sound more professional too.
You sound immediately. We can hear those tones, those San Diego tones.
Oh.
It's tremendous.
Yeah.
So, listen, guys, this is the show called Ask Us Anything. We've done one of these before and it worked well, so we're going to have another go tonight. The show's going to run for around about an hour. And basically, we're just going to talk about whatever comes to mind. The guys in the chat, anybody watching, please feel free to throw comments and questions in the comment section, and we'll answer those as best we can. I did put a post out on Instagram yesterday asking for comments, and we've got about, I think it's about, how many did I say before, James? About 15 or 20? 20 odd people responded, which is amazing. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. We've got a range of topics that people have suggested to talk about, so I'm looking forward to get into that. Before we do that, just quickly going to jump to the chat, see who we've got. We have got good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got Fuzzy, a little less conversation, a little more action. Yeah,
you have to do it with the voice.
A little less conversation, a little more.
That was almost perfect. That was
almost pitch perfect. You do it then.
What?
You do it.
No, thanks. I'm all right.
Come on. We'll have an Elvis off, all three of us.
A little less conversation, a little more action, please.
Oh, I like that.
Nice,
I like that.
Nice.
Efren?
A little less conversation, a little more action, please.
That's the winner.
That's the winner. That's the winner. Tremendous. Oh, Fuzzy. Fuzzy's commenting on your new introduction, James.
That's what I was going for.
That's what he's going for. We've got Big Dave. Excuse me, Big Dave. Evening peeps will try and rejoin for a bit later on. Have a good one in case I can only catch up. Nice to see you, bud. Myself and James went out for a meal with Big Dave.
Nice.
Feels like a long time ago now. Is it about a month ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was last month before Liverpool.
Yeah. Before it was Liverpool, wasn't it? Yeah, had a great time. So lovely to see you, Dave. We've got Bat Dan in the chat. Oh, evening, Dan. Always nice to see you, my friend. Lovely meeting Bat Dan at Thought Bubble. Briefly, this last weekend. Oh, I can't believe it's just a weekend. I'm missing.
Not even a week.
Yeah. Efren,
I've already stocked up on my tiki. My Morgan tiki. My tiki.
Do you get this, Efren, when you've been to a convention and you've kind of interacted with friends? I get the blues, something terrible afterwards. You know,
I used to get that a lot.
Weeks.
I got the blues just looking at you guys. I got so jealous. I was like, damn it.
I get the blues when I look at you too, Peter. Yeah. It's almost like, why can't one of us just win the lotto and we do this all the time kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I dropped James off at the airport, because he stayed with me for a few days, he asked if I would adopt him, and he could just move into my house.
No.
I considered it for a while. I did consider it for a while.
I have to get the place fumigated first to be up to my stand.
We've got Sean. Nice to see you, Sean. Has Efren got a job in air traffic control? He's got some cones. You do that stuff. And we've got GP. GP feels like friggin' ages since we've been on screen with you as well, mate. We must get the book club next week. I know I couldn't do it this week, unfortunately, but next week we will, mate. And we've got Dead Man. Always nice to see you, my friend. Elvis has entered the build. We've got three Elvises. We've got Arista Jack. Thank you very much for joining. Didn't make it to Thought Bubble this year, but I'm sure everyone there had a great time. We did, mate, and we did. Me and James were talking. Was it Thought Bubble or was it Liverpool Comic Con? I can't remember which one. But we did say, I wonder if Arista Jack's down here.
Thought Bubble. We're driving up, I think, and we were like, I wonder if you see. Yeah.
So, Efren, because James is linked to it and you've not heard this story, we're driving to Thought Bubble, right? Embrace yourself, ready for the impression, James, okay? We're driving to Thought Bubble. Now, I get stressed driving. I'm not a comfortable driver, right? So it's pitch black. It's lashing down with rain. We're entering a city. It
wasn't raining, you liar. It wasn't raining.
It was storms. It was lightning bolts and, wind. And I said to him, now, James, I need to concentrate for a bit because I'm uncomfortable with driving. It's dark and I'm old. So I need to concentrate. And what did you do, James, for 5 minutes? In my ear for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, from Dumb and Dumber. I thought it was
from Dumb and Dumber.
And it wasn't 5 minutes. It was 10 seconds, and then I burst into laughter.
Felt like a lifetime.
We were laughing for. We had giggled for like 15 minutes after.
Yeah, and then you did that thing where you're laughing so hard at your own jokes you couldn't breathe for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah. I stopped breathing a lot, especially in my sleep.
Yeah, you do. You're right. It's freakish. Yeah, mate. Definitely next week. Yeah, I wish you'd been there, Jack. It would be lovely to have catched up with you, mate. Next time, mate. Next time. Okay, so like I said, we've got loads and loads. Fuzzy. I'll be honest, at this point, I feel like I've been to Thought Bubble 4 times. I couldn't move to Harrogate.
If you can afford it. It's a fancy old area.
Yeah, it's a very nice area. Yeah, but you could, I'm sure, find our spot in the Wetherspoons. I commented on a video the other day and was talking about, I think it was on the Killer Show, was talking about how irritated we were with a guy in front of her in the queue at Thought Bubble having a suitcase full of comics. And Fuzzy commented and said, wait till you find out it was actually me in the queue. Yeah. Nobody knows what he looks like. Okay, chaps. So, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about just general chit-chat and stuff. We're going to start off, Efren, because we missed you terribly on Saturday, Efren. We did a live show, and we had Rob Fat Stacks on. And again, after the show, we had a real good chat about barbecue and food and Thanksgiving in particular. Am I right in hearing that Rob James cooks a chicken and then injects it into his turkey? I mean, that's some reanimated.
No, he cooks a smaller turkey and he makes a stock. He's like a juice. He takes the juices and injects it into his real turkey.
Okay.
I think it's clever. Double turkey, man.
Yeah, double turkey. Yeah. We started talking Thanksgiving and things, and I guess that's what I wanted to start off with. So, Thanksgiving plans, Efren. Tell a little about your Thanksgiving plans, and then what are we all thankful for?
Most of the time for Thanksgiving now, my next door neighbors, they always invite me over. So we have a turkey dinner there. My daughter's coming too. So for this Thanksgiving, she said actually she wants to just go out and take the dogs to a dog park and hang out with me. And then afterwards, she's going to go with her mom and her side of the family. So just a really relaxed Thanksgiving.
What kind of foods do you have at Thanksgiving then?
Oh, you name it, man. It's like turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, anything. The typical U.S., Thanksgiving.
Do you have that marshmallow shite on the sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
The marshmallows on it?
Yeah, marshmallows. Yeah, I've had it before, but I don't know. People that's the way they serve it. That's the way I eat it. So,
on potato.
No, on sweet potato. So sweet potato, and then I assume sweet potato mash, and then you put marshmallows and grill it.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Bizarre, I think.
That's awful. I mean, I suppose we eat some weird stuff as well, don't we? But So interesting stuff. One of the things we were talking about was kind of what are you thankful for at Thanksgiving, and I'm going to twist it around slightly because I know we'll all say family and friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. Let's get it back onto comic books. What are you thankful for? We'll start with you, James. In relation to nerd culture, what gives you a bit of joy? What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that the new Spider-Man game was great. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that's that's one thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's sort of it lately. I'm thankful that we've got some really great horror movies this year as well, which I'm very thankful for. So some fantastic ones. Yeah. So that's I guess that's gonna end pop culture wise.
Yeah. Well, how about you, Efren?
I just seen Fuzzy's note, so right away I'm thankful that I've never met him because he pissed me off saying filthy yank. So gosh, what am I thankful for besides family and stuff like that? As much as some people are coming down on movies. I'm thankful that we're able to see superhero movies. And I'm thankful that What If is coming back on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to see that, Yeah. And I'm thankful that I get to hang out with you guys. Very thankful for that. So
naturally, Efren, thank you. You pinched mine a little bit because we've talked a lot, and we're probably going to talk about it tonight as well, about the state of movies and how Marvel movies are perceived by some to not be as good and all the rest of it. But I'm like you, Efren. I'm just thankful that we're at an age where actually we can see these movies because, frankly, when I was growing up, the thought of a live-action Marvel big-budget movie was just, never going to happen, So, yeah, good stuff. So, we've got a question from Dave, and this was aimed at you initially, Efren, and we'll rephrase it to James as well in a second. But he's asking, if you had to, so you've got no choice, you've got to either give up comic books and nerd culture or sport, which one would you give up and why?
I'm a big sports fan. Gosh, that's a tough question.
So you can never read another comic or you can never watch another baseball.
I don't see a New England Patriots banner in your background there, friend. So
it may surprise you, but I think I'd give up comic books and movies and TV.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. I'm a big sports fan. I'm from San Francisco, and you see I have a Golden State Warriors shirt on.
I don't know what the references. I don't know what
that's basketball.
Okay, so, right.
Warriors.
That's a tough one, But I think I watch sports almost all the time. On Sundays, NFL football, American football is on. I wake up like about 9 o'clock till about 8 o'clock at night. I'm just watching football.
I would have never guessed that. I would have never guessed that you'd in any way pick sports over. That really baffles me. Like, not baffles, but like I'm stunned that's the way you'd swing on.
Are you guys gonna block me now, or
I'm not sure?
No.
I'm not sure we can stream with you anymore, friend. You know what I mean?
You bloody hooligan.
Yeah, you've broken Fuzzy. Fuzzy's saying, it's in his DNA. He's got no options. He's been lying to us all. Obviously, a sport is in your DNA. Comics. That was a great question from Dave, and because I think that's because Dave's seen you talk about football and American football and baseball before.
Yeah.
James.
Right, what's the alternative now? Because I don't know shit about sports.
I'm not alcohol. No, I'm going to give you a different one. All right, nerd culture, comic books, and all that kind of jazz, or computer gaming. So you can never play another PlayStation game ever again.
Define nerd culture, comic books. Be more specific than that.
Comic books, Marvel, MCU, everything that entails. You've got to get rid of one of them.
The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that. No, I keep video games. I think honestly,
video games.
Yeah, I keep video games. Wow. I would say, as much as I love Marvel and DC and all those various characters, like video games have had such an impact on me. Like The Last of Us, Uncharted, The Last of Us has impacted my life. I think in a strange way in terms of like the music that I was introduced to from that, and there's kind of like even moral lessons I think I kind of took on board in life as well. So yeah, I couldn't give it. Even if you had even said like The Last of Us or Marvel, I'd nearly swing towards The Last of Us as well. But gaming as a whole, I'd have to keep games. Yeah, Spire. Like some of my favorite memories, my earliest memories are video games. So
I can't believe this shit that I'm hearing from you two. I mean, Fuzzy saying, what a pair of shawls. Fuzzy, I feel like I've been lied to my entire life. James, have you finished Spider-Man yet? Yes, he has.
I did. I finished it a couple of days ago. Yeah, great ending. Yeah, I'm excited for the next one.
I'm not sure either of you can be on the channel anymore. That's how
James and I will just come on next month by ourselves.
I'm
talk sport and games. That's what he's can talk about.
What would be the equivalent for you, Peter? Or what would be another thing?
Yeah.
Pornography.
You'd have
pornography, probably.
I'm trying to think like you are such a nerd.
I'm a
Like, I can't think of
man.
anything.
I have multiple tastes in everything, you know.
Okay, what about right? All right, I got one. All right. So you can keep nerd culture, but you have to be vegan for the rest of your life.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That's a tough one. Food is you're a big foodie, I know that.
How dare you? What do you mean by
So meat or marbles? I guess.
that? Meat or marble?
Meat or marble, yeah.
Meat or marble? Shit. That's
There you go. Not that easy, is it? Yeah. So there you go.
Okay, I got one for you, Peter. I'm going to break it down even smaller. Comic books or 1/6 figures? You only could choose one.
Comic books. Easy,
okay.
that one, Efren.
Most of your figures are comic book characters.
I mean, I love my action figures.
Yeah.
I do love my action figures, but yeah, comic books is where it all starts from for me. But I mean, James, I do. You, Efren, you won't be able to tell looking at us, but I do like a meal. I do like to eat out. And the thought of just having to eat bloody twigs and berries for the rest of my life was killing me.
No, you can do a lovely tofu masala.
Shite. Nobody's saying. Nobody's saying
amazing.
I
do. No, listen, Peter. You do it right. I was vegan for 2 years. You can do I did an amazing like kind of fake meat pie. That's gorgeous. Like I still make it now. Chili. You can do like with the soy mince. You can do a chili.
Soy
do
mince.
burritos. Yeah.
What would you do?
You can live on Greg's vegan sausage rolls then for the rest of your life if you wanted to. Like,
I went vegetarian for about a year, and I just wanted to try see if I could do it. You know, and, even now I don't eat that much steaks and stuff like that. You know, so.
But I bet it was a miserable year, Efren, wasn't it?
No,
I bet it was.
You know, it was okay.
It's not. I don't think it's hard. It's annoying. It's like I don't know about vegetarians, probably a bit more lax, but like having to check is milk in anything. You would look at something and say that's definitely vegan. You pick it up. No, it's not. The milk powder or something. So that's kind of shit that you have to put up. But I remember like I found alternatives to like I love carbonara, and I managed to like it was a process, but to make a semi decent carbonara vegan, you know, with the like there's like black salt which has like an eggy kind of taste and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, it was an interesting challenge anyway. Though.
No.
Yeah. Moving on. What sort of an Irishman?
Sorry, I'm cultured. Like fuzzy.
Yeah, not sure. Now we've got a question from Bat Dan, which I think is a really good one because, Efren, I'm interested to know your thoughts on this in particular. But I don't know if you guys realise, but it's Doctor Who's 60th anniversary this week.
I didn't.
So 60 years of the Time Lord. Thoughts on Doctor Who we'll start off with. Is it something, Efren, you're familiar with? Do you watch Doctor Who over in the States?
I have never, ever seen an episode of Doctor Who. Never.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know what kind of fan base they have. You know, I see it constantly. But it's just that's never grabbed hold of me, and I just have never seen it, you know.
Yeah. That surprises us because I know you are a sci-fi fan. Star Trek, but I don't think Doctor Who ever really, certainly not in the start, didn't really hit big over in the States, did it? It's not massively well known, I don't think.
No, I mean it's I remember one of the actors was at Comic-Con one year, and but yeah, I just never followed it for some reason, you know. It'd be right up my alley. I mean, I love sci-fi, you know, but sometimes there's so much to watch, you just can't watch it all.
Yeah. And I think, you know, Doctor Who's an interesting one because it's 1 week it can be incredibly cheesy. The next week it's like really quite dark horror almost at times, and it jumps backwards and forwards, you know, so it's quite disjointing at times. What about you, James? Are you a Doctor Who fan?
No, I hate it, and I hate people who like it. Doctor Who fans are to us what we are to the wider world. Like they're the nerds of nerds. Like they're just look at with your little scarf and your little wand thing. It's like
wand. Yeah, I think you're
whatever
talking about his sonic screwdriver, James, not a wand.
That's so much worse than I could. No, I'm only partially kidding, but I just never really liked it at all. Like I've tried. I've not seen a full episode. I have in my life at a couple of points.
Yeah.
watched a chunk of an episode and been like, this is shit. I don't like this. And I like a lot of the actors that have been attached to it. I love Dave Tennant. I love Matt Smith, Christopher Eccleston. But just never connected. I would be really interested in, and I know this is almost antithetical to the series, but like just a reboot, like a movie franchise, like the way that J.J. Abrams did Star Trek.
So they did a movie 20 years ago or something like that. It wasn't
like a modern, like the way J.J. Abrams did Star. The way J.J. Abrams did Star Trek. I'd like to see that, like a cool new Doctor Who.
That's what I'm saying. They did it.
Yeah, but more recent than 20 years ago.
20 years ago is a long time.
Yeah. Who was that actor?
I'm trying to remember his name. Someone help us out in the because it was an American actor, wasn't it? I think.
Oh, it's so British. It has to be a British. What was it? An American actor doing a British accent, like?
Who's the guy who did With Neil and I?
Did what?
With Neil and I.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
you've never seen With Neil and I?
I've never heard of it.
Oh Jesus! God,
who are we talking to right now, man?
Honestly, Bat-Dan, Paul McGann.
Right.
McGann. Was he in With Neil and I, or have I made that up? Bat-Dan, I can't remember. Doctor Who's David Niven, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Bat-Dan. It was Paul McGann. Listen, guys, Doctor Who, like I say, it. Probably try. Doctor Who does have some dodgy episodes. There's no getting away from that. Any kind of long-term sci-fi series will have some downers, if you know what I mean. But when it's good, Christ, it's very good. Tennant's era in particular, David Tennant's era, was amazing. Yes,
I do like Daleks. I think they're cool. That's cool.
Yeah, Daleks are cool, but they're overused now. If you want some good villains, check out the Weeping Angels. They're very.
I know this one. Yeah, the statue things, isn't it? That they turn and I've seen them. Yeah.
So,
cool.
If you guys haven't seen much Doctor Who, there's not much point in us asking. But I was going to ask, who is your favourite of the Doctors? Do you have a one?
I mean, just I'd be going off the actors. So like David Tennant did Peter Cushing play him in something?
Yeah, I think he was in a movie. Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite actor to play. Peter Cushing's one of my favorites. So yeah, I'd go for him. I might check that out actually then, because I love him. That's
an old one, but yeah. Efren, if you've not seen it, you won't know who many of the actors are. No. Yeah, no. It's worth watching. There's some great things now.
But they've been around for 60 episodes. Yeah. I mean, for 60 years, like on TV.
Yeah, there was a couple of kind of standalone movies and things.
There's been breaks though, hasn't there? There was like 10 years here and 10 years there.
There was kind of a big break for a while, and then it was brought back again. I can't remember how long, but by Russell T Davies, and it's been pretty good since then. The excitement at the moment is that the new series, the first couple of episodes are on Christmas. We've got David Tennant coming back into the role. So really, really looking forward to that. Loads and loads of people jumping into the chat here. Bat-Dan, Sacrilege James, we've seen that one. Paul McGann, we've mentioned. David Niven, Peter Cushing was in it, yeah. The original Who's Peter Cushing, yeah. Lots of films. Dr. Leg, don't know what that one is, Fuzzy. John Pertwee was, yeah. So the what did he play?
So say that again, Peter.
Pertwee. Is it Pertwee? Sorry,
Pertwee.
Pertwee.
Sometimes you just don't read these. You just scan it and take a stab.
I struggle with my speech, James, because of my disability. But you know, you mock the afflicted, don't you?
I will.
But his son obviously played Alfred in Gotham.
Right, yeah, that's Sean Pertwee.
He also does the voiceovers in MasterChef. So whenever they're talking about it, scrambled egg or whatever, it's him. But he's phenomenal.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah. He's phenomenal in a movie that you won't have seen, Efren, but I really do recommend you see, called Dog Soldiers. He is absolutely amazing in that. That's an incredible movie. So, right then, next question. You can answer this one. We'll start with you, Efren. Doctor Who's obviously his kind of his big kind of thing is that he travels backwards and forwards in time in the TARDIS. So if you've never seen it, he's got a blue police box, which can go anywhere within space and time. So if you had that, if you could travel anywhere in space and time, where would you go?
Oh, I know a little bit about Doctor Who. I know about the TARDIS and everything like that. But I have one more question about Doctor Who. I know there's different actors who portray him. Is it the same person but just different face, or is it a whole new Doctor Who?
Well, it's a whole new Doctor Who. But basically, the idea is every time he dies, he regenerates as a different person. But it's always a different kind of aspect of his personality. It's supposed to be the same person, but he's got like a different outlook and things, I guess you would say.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So, Howie, where would you go? Anywhere in space and time?
That's an easy one for me, and I've thought about this every now and then. I kick myself in the head. When I was in the 1970s, when I used to go to little Comic Cons, like in hotels in San Francisco, I kicked myself in the head for I didn't have, obviously I wasn't working either, but I had some money. But I could have gotten all my Silver Age Marvel books for basically less than $1,000 each, and I just didn't get them back then. If I could go back anytime, it would be back then. And that's when I met Jack Kirby too, It's back in the 70s, So
but you didn't speak to him, did you? So you would.
No, I've told this story before.
Grab him,
I grab him and hug him, and I'd bring my iPhone with me and take a picture. I just stared at him and did like the walk of shame, just walked away. I was a kid. I was just awestruck just by looking at him. Smoking a cigar in front of the hotel. That would be easy going back and buying those books.
What about you, James? Where would you go?
I'd go back to 1988 and see Michael Jackson on the Bad tour, because I think that was probably one of the best live performances ever. So yeah, I'd love to see that in person. I think it'd be great.
Wow, that would be an interesting choice. I was obsessed with Michael Jackson back in the day, when I was a kid.
I can imagine with the hair and the jacket and everything.
I've seen them. I've seen the Jacksons in concert years ago.
The Jacksons.
They weren't called the Jackson 5. There was more than 5, obviously, but Michael was there.
It was
in San Francisco. Yes.
Yeah, it was when. So was that when he, like, after his voice broke, but before he kind of went solo? Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little bit afterwards. They just did but we're talking about over 20 years ago that I went to go see when I was in San Francisco. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was cool.
No, they did a kind of reunion tour, I think, at some point later on.
I think that's the one. Yeah, but I've seen them years and years ago.
Yeah.
Efren, is there anybody you haven't seen and met? Honestly,
you ever see Queen?
No.
You weren't at Live Aid, no?
I met. I saw what's his name, the actor who portrayed Magneto, Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
We were in San Diego in the gas lamp during Comic-Con, and he was just hanging out with everybody, so.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. I think for me, I'll go for the soppy answer first. I'd like to go back and see my kids being born, because I don't know, Efren, I don't know what you're like, but I struggle to remember clearly what happened.
Oh, hell yeah.
When they were, and you see some people talking about how marvelous it was and all the rest of it. I can't remember much of it now, so I'd like to go back and relive that, I think.
I agree with you. I look at my daughter now, she's an adult, and I miss her being a child. I wish I could go back. And this was before iPhones, and I took pictures of her, but I would have taken a lot more, I miss her being small, and I don't remember it that much anymore, It's just, time flies, and you just don't remember it,
Yeah, I'm absolutely saying.
James is going, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd still pick Michael Jackson, I'm afraid. I don't want to see Peter's wife give birth or or help raise Efren's kids, Like I'll pick Michael Jackson. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I was going for a geeky thing, I would. It's interesting. None of them have picked kind of like key historical moments or anything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Those are historical.
The Bad tour, man. Like, of course, that's a historical.
I would probably go back, and I think a big regret of mine is I never got to meet Stan Lee, and he's an idol of mine, and I reckon you've met him multiple times,
well.
But I never got to shake his hand and say what he meant to us, kind of thing. So I'd like to do that. Desperate to meet William Shatner before, because he's a canny age as well, I'd love to meet William Shatner.
At least we got Chris Sarandon out of the way, because I learned he was 81. I'm like, that was a good few years off of that, guess. Anyway.
Fuzzy is just saying here, I saw him at the Roundhay Park in Leeds, 1982. I think he was on his history tour.
Yeah.
Wow, Fuzzy.
That would have been an amazing set list as well, like all his classics, and then kind of some of his newer, like you had Scream, I think, with Janet at that point as well, and his production value was like incredible during that one.
Through the roof. Yeah, incredible.
Did you have I suppose you had a ticket for the one that got cancelled? This Is It. Were you going to go to that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I did.
No.
Do you know what? I've never really been a big one for music kind of shows and festivals. I don't know why. It's just not something that's ever really been my thing. But Michael Jackson I was obsessed with when I was younger. Lisa is saying here, only men forget childhood.
Yeah, as Lord, would you go back to that day and relive it? No.
Dead Man, I want to go back to July 1984 and tell myself not to sell my comic collection. That's a good one, mate. Let me know in the comments what date you or where you would go back to and what you would like to relive. But yeah, Dead Man, I think that's a good one, mate. Okay, next question came in from Ray. We kind of covered this a little bit on Saturday, so we'll not go into great detail, but Efren, you weren't around, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Ray wants to know what our thoughts were on The Marvels, so the movie we've just watched. We'll keep it spoiler free as best we can. So Efren, in general, what did you think of it, mate?
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I just appreciate that we're able to see these movies, and I mean, it was enjoyable. Did I feel like that I didn't get my money's worth? Not at all. I mean, it was funny. They had fight scenes. I just think Marvel's put themselves on such a high pedestal that, eventually they were going to come crashing down, so to speak. But yeah, I liked it. I have no complaints about it. I'm glad I went to go see it.
Good man. And James, we already know that you're a bit of
loved it. Yeah, absolutely. You had a blast. So
yeah, me too. Right, we've got some great questions from Fuzzy here. James, I'll start with you on this one, and then we'll work around. I've seen this question obviously because Fuzzy sent it in, and I kind of get my head into what I would do with it. So I'm interested to see if you guys can. He wants to know if we'll ever see a live action Simpsons movie, and he wants to cast it.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, they have done like live action stuff at points in episodes, like opening the kind of couch gag, haven't they? And there's I think some ads and stuff. I'd say it's more like maybe this is an episode where they go to the real world. Yeah, it's more likely to get like their 3D in the real world kind of thing rather than like full on a live action version of those characters. Casting wise. Because like they're not supposed like Homer's not that old. Homer's only like 39, fucking.
He's not. He's
only like 39. 39, yeah. Marge is 39. Bart and Lisa. So the kid, Bart and Lisa, it's hard to kind of say because like you'd be picking really young. You just have to name the youngest person you've seen in a movie lately. Who's just like a good fat actor at the moment? Like who's just trying to think. He's 30. He's around 39. Everyone I'm thinking of is just like wouldn't suit it. I don't know.
I think it's such an iconic family. It's hard to cast, isn't it? Everyone, what do you think, mate?
Who would have been good, but he's older now, is John Goodman.
I immediately I thought John Goodman, but he's way too old at this stage. So,
he's way too old, So I mean, for the kids, it would just be some young kid actors. Probably wouldn't even know much about it. I think for Marge, oh gosh, I don't know anybody. Who would be good with and this is going back in time. She's older now too, but she was in The Shining, the wife, Duvall.
Shelley Duvall, yeah.
Shelley Duvall. Yeah. I think she would have been good at it,
So I just looked up who should play on Google. Someone said Danny McBride. I think that's actually quite he could pull off.
He has curly hair, right?
Yeah, he's in a lot of the Seth Rogen stuff.
Isn't he in? He's in. Oh man, what's the one where they all get killed? They're all actors on.
This is the end.
No. Oh man, it's brilliant. Robert Downey Jr.
It was this Robert Downey Jr. when he was
Jack Black's in it. Yeah, Jack Black's in it as well. What's that movie called? It's brilliant. It's got Tom Cruise as Les Grossman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Tropic Thunder. Yes, Tropic Thunder. Yeah, he's the let's fuck. Yeah.
Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. That's actually, I think he could pull that off. I think, if you're going maybe a more vulgar version.
Do you know who this is going to sound silly, but I think he was so good in Renfield, and I'm obsessed with Nicolas Cage anyway. but Nicolas Cage is if you could wizen him down a little bit, is Mr. Burns, that kind of creepy
Oh my God,
kind
yes.
of. Do you know what I mean? That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But for the kids, for Bart, I don't really know many child.
Everyone who I would
8
think
years
of
old.
is now too old for it.
Yeah.
You know, so like a
Yeah.
Jacob Tremblay or someone like that maybe could have done it. Like or that kid from the other kid from Good Boys. He would the guy that has the dance number at the end, like he would have been he would have been quite good.
That's
I
a
think.
good movie. I like
Great movie, yeah, I love that one. You ever seen that, Efren?
No.
I think we talked about it on the comedy top 3 comedy ones. I had on my list, I think. But yeah, it's a great fun
It's an entertaining one.
raunchy comedy. Yeah.
That's a great question, Fuzzy. But I don't know. I don't know if I would want to see a live action Simpsons.
I mean, either.
Yeah.
It would mess with me mind.
I also think it's kind of been gone on too long at this stage now as well. You know, just wrap it up. Like maybe
do you know
season
what?
20.
I can't remember the last time I watched kind of like a modern, like a recent episode of The Simpsons. Do you know what I mean?
Post the movie, there was an episode, and it was like the biggest deal in the world here. But there was an episode where they were going to Ireland, and
Right.
it was like aired in like on our TV channel first. Like it was the worldwide premiere was here.
Right.
So that was the last time I watched. Like that probably is the most recent episode I've seen of it. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Fuzzy, you made it much harder than it needed to be. I'll be honest. Fuzzy,
We gave a genuine effort there, you know. Like
back at you, Fuzzy. Who would you cast? Let me know who you would cast
Yeah.
in The Simpsons, mate. Okay, nice straightforward question for Brian. Wants to know, cats or dogs? What's the best?
dogs. It's not even fucking close. Like a dog just like unabashedly loves you, whereas a cat just looks like it wants to murder you constantly. And I know you can get them to a point where they will show some degree of affection towards you, but like I'd rather just I come in and I see the dog and the dog's jumping up on me like, hey, yeah, he's a good boy, you know. That's
My
that's
dogs
love.
became a bit obsessed with you, didn't they? I mean, my 2 dogs were bloody all over you. It was
One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
One of them.
To an annoying degree, because like they come in from outside and it'd be wet and they jump up on me. I'm like, no. Yeah, I love every dog really. Like, you know, whereas cats can be iffy, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Efren?
Oh, dogs definitely. I mean, I have 2 also. My little Jack Russell's right here next to me. She always follows me everywhere, no matter what. And I did a quick little YouTube short on my other dog, just in slow motion. It got so many views, just her running in my backyard. You know,
I saw that. It was good.
Yeah.
So as usual, Fuzzy is bang on.
I tried to burp there, I couldn't do it. I tried. I really did try
Make
it.
your lips do the thing.
Oh me.
I can't get that up my head now. So dogs for you as well. I'm definitely a dog man. I've got 2 dogs and I love them.
I'm even wearing the right coloured shirt today. This is like the coloured shirt that he's wearing and everything. Yeah. And my belly is always sticking out. So
It is. Yeah. Okay, let's go to another question from Fuzzy. And this is a really, really good one. I love this question. If you could relive seeing any movie for the first time, what film and why?
Gosh.
So I'll start off, and this was a real hard one for me, Fuzzy, because my instinct, being an uber geek, and I'm going to get in before anybody else, you see, my instinct being an uber geek was to go to Avengers Endgame, because I cannot tell you how emotional I felt in that cinema with the end scene with Avengers Assemble, with Cap holding Mjolnir, and it was just perfection. But, and this is going to upset some people, but I think a lot of Endgame's pretty ropey. It's hot. It's a long watch sometimes. I tend to just fast forward to that end bit now. So for me, it's either Endgame, but to pinch before James does, I have to say Spider-Man. I think I got more of an emotional punch.
No Way Home?
That. Yeah, No Way Home.
yeah.
I think, and again, it's not even the key. Yeah, the key bits are amazing when, Peter steps through the portal and you realise it's Andrew Garfield and all that kind of stuff. Phenomenal. But the bit, and I'm not ashamed to say it, the bit that brought me to tears was when he catches MJ and he kind of, it's just,
yeah, are you
it's
okay?
just
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's like,
yeah. And she says, "Are you?" You know, it's just, yeah,
played so perfectly. Yeah,
yeah. So I would love to, and I also think, sorry, I'm rambling, but I also think, me and James were talking about this last week. We kind of knew that Andrew Garfield and Toby might be in Spider-Man because there was all the hints and stuff like that.
we didn't know,
but we didn't know.
We were fairly sure, but it was
Yeah.
like that. We didn't fully 100% know that they were in it.
So it was still a genuine kind of shit moment. They've done it, you know.
It's happening. Yeah.
So they're my two. Ephraim, we'll start with you.
Okay, I had a couple minutes to think about this, and I'm going back a long time ago. So these movies have always just grabbed my attention. It gets my heart pumping. I just love seeing these movies. It would be especially the first Rocky film, you know, with Sylvester Stallone. Just the excitement and them fighting. It seems so real, you know. It's like, oh my God, just all those movies. Most of those movies, you know, I really enjoyed. If I could see one again from first time, it would be Rocky. Yeah. Just love
That's
that
a great pick. Have you ever seen Rocky, James? Are you a Rocky?
Yeah, seen just the first one. Yeah.
I mean, the first one is just, and you're right. It's that emotional pull again at the end of the movie. I think it's just phenomenal. Yeah. How about you then, James?
Mine's been jumping because, like, I think No Way Home is a really good shout. Like, my mind kind of jumped to Winter Soldier because that is my favorite movie. But I think, you know, you can go anytime. First time watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Like, I remember, I had no interest in superheroes, like, at all. 2000 it was Christmas Day. My sister got it on video, so I didn't even care about superheroes. But I put it in the video player. Yeah. So it'd have been 7 or something, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. Like, loved every second of it. I think I watched it on repeat, and I watched it more than my sister, you know, did. And I just started an obsession, and I just absolutely just have loved superheroes ever since. So that's a really special one. I think like that's the one that got me in. So like No Way Home, it would be like that's amazing, but that's the kind of love for that is partly tied to that kind of first Raimi movie. So that's one. Dark Knight would probably be the other one. I think I've never been as blown away in a movie in the cinema, I think, than that. But yeah, I'd probably go Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
When you saw the Raimi movie for the first time, were you buying comic books at all? Or were you into comic books at all?
No, I didn't like. I was a Scooby-Doo guy, so that was Scooby-Doo was my first obsession, kind of when I was like 5, 6, and then superheroes was kind of the thing after Sam Raimi Spider-Man. And I just kind of stuck with that then, you know.
I remember. I mean, obviously, I was a kid when Batman '89 came out, and I remember the excitement of that as a comic book geek, kind of getting excited that movies were. Batman was taken seriously, but I think the strongest memory I've got is after that was when the first X-Men movie came out, Hugh Jackman, and I don't know why, because it feels silly now looking back, but I remember watching that trailer on old bloody AOL dial-up or whatever it was back in the day, and just watching it and getting my mum and dad in to show them it, and it wasn't because I wanted them to say, wow, it's a great movie. It was because it was like, it felt like vindication that I'm this ginger fat nerd, you know, but look, what I love is going to be a massive budget movie, and it looks friggin' amazing. The trailer was stunning, you know, and it was that kind of feeling of, actually, do you know what, I'm not a geek anymore, I'm kind of, this is going to be big. Great question, Fuzzy. We've got a few people jumping out. Pulp Fiction, now that's that, Dan. I'll go one step earlier than that and say Reservoir Dogs. I remember at the time all the kind of the noise in school about Reservoir Dogs and people having bootleg copies of it, because I think it was banned in the UK for a while, and watching it on a dodgy video, and it was it just blew my mind. Have you seen that one, Ephraim?
I've never seen it. No.
Watch it, man. It's so good.
I'll watch it.
Tarantino at his best in terms of
some of the best dialogue, like character interactions in a movie ever, I think. And
there's a scene that's quite graphic that just blew people's minds at the time.
I'll check it out.
Pulp Fiction afterwards, it's just Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. Their interactions in this is just absolutely stunning.
It's funny, I don't remember a point in my life where I've not already seen Pulp Fiction. I don't remember the first time watching it, you know. It's just, I feel like it's always been in my life. It's weird. It's like I can't pinpoint
but if you go back, you know,
when I saw that.
Watch that again. The cast that he's got in that. You know, you've got
insane Bruce Willis and Uma Thurman and Sam Jackson and John Travolta. It's fantastic.
Phenomenal. Terry, they say not a geek film, but I'd like to see for the first time. Oh yeah, The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah,
that's a great movie.
That's a good call, mate. That's a good call. Again, just a hop. And Green Mile as well. I love that film. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I like Green Mile more than Shawshank.
Yeah, the emotional impact of that is just stunning.
Yeah.
Fuzzy, twice movies I felt like they took a jump forward, like they have advanced the art form. Seeing Jurassic Park in the cinema, and Gravity. It made me hold my breath.
I think Gravity's a bit overrated, to be honest.
I've not seen Gravity.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a great. I think it was a good cinema experience, but I don't think it's like an amazing movie. I wouldn't hold up in watching it.
George Clooney.
George Clooney and
Sandra Bullock.
Yes, Sandra Bullock. Yeah. So they get trapped. It is a really terrifying situation that the characters are in. Like proper, you get anxiety watching it. Like of the idea of that happening. But
I like the sound of it, so I will check it out. Jurassic Park is again another one. I think Fuzzy's right. It's one of those points where I think cinema you suddenly thought, gee gods, this could be incredible. And I remember going to see that with my nana. She got tickets for it, and it was just blew away. Absolutely blew away. Phenomenal movie.
Terminator 2. I just thought of that one.
Terminator.
That's another one I see.
Yeah.
So many movies.
Sean saying Superman 78, and The Matrix. Again, both of those stunning choices. Remember seeing The Matrix in the cinema, and again, my head just exploded. Lisa's saying it's good. I'm not sure which movie.
Well, they're all good, aren't they? We're just naming some of the greatest movies ever made. Yeah.
This is a sad question, but I was just wondering: does anyone know what American program in the 70s became so popular in the UK that it was shown here first before it was aired in the States?
No idea.
No idea, mate. No idea.
I know
MASH
that
or something.
I know there's a lot of British shows that are shown obviously over there first, and then they're brought over to the United States to make like a reboot of them, like that show Ghost,
Office and stuff. Yeah.
For example, Ghost. They're in the UK first, and then United States did their own version. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Not sure, Terry. Not sure, dead man. Let me know. We've got Hoot in the chat. Dr. Von Hoot, we're just asking the question. Fuzzy's posed with a question. If you could go back and watch any movie again for the first time, what would it be? So, what would be your choice, my friend?
Real quick, Peter. When I seen a picture of you guys, at a Thought Bubble with Dr. Von Hoot, and he was still wearing his mask,
didn't take it off the whole time.
I was like, who? I wanted to see his face. I thought one of you would pull the mask off.
I like the mystique. Someone. We were outside, and a drunk guy did try and pull the mask off, and we nearly had a fight because of it.
The entire weekend, he was. Well, no, he wasn't. Wow. That's his natural visage, isn't it? Yeah. We've got Bat Dancing T2. It's a great choice. It's a stunning movie. Ooh, Batman 89, Canadian survivalist. Well, all the Batman movies are tremendous for their own reasons, aren't they? We've got Kenneth. Nice to see you, Kenneth. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, guys. Great question, Fuzzy. Another great question. Right, guys. Going to give you a hard question now. And this is a kind of a classic question that gets asked a lot on these kind of shows. You're having a dinner party and you can invite 3 guests. Any guests from time. Who are they going to be? Why? And Dr. Von Hoot, Transformers 86, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Stunning. I still say the best Transformers movie there's been. Still makes us cry every time I watch it as well. And Canadians, 89. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, just a stunning film. I love that movie. Love it. Right, guys. Who's going first with this question? James?
Pedro Pascal has to be there, of course, obviously. I need to pick up Peter Cushing.
Yeah,
I'd like to have a brandy with Peter Cushing. I think would be cool with the fire going. It'd be fun. I don't know the third one. Try to pick someone not obvious. Maybe Michael Jackson. Throw Michael Jackson in there.
Every time you say Michael Jackson, you've got to do it.
Shamona. Yeah. Be an interesting conversation with Pascal, Peter Cushing, and Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I'm not sure Peter Cushing and Michael Jackson will get on, but you know.
I didn't curate that very well.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 people I'd be very curious to have a conversation with. Like if I could have if I had like a Joe Rogan thing going on and I could chat to like 3 different people, would be those 3, I think.
Yeah. Just before we move on to Efren, GP is saying he heard Pedro's playing Mr. Fantastic. That's the strongly
don't like Efren
suggested.
No, I think it's a mistake.
I not a mistake. I think.
No, it's a mistake. I'm sorry.
He'll be great. He'll be great.
No, because you're such a big fan of his. That's why.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of him because he's fantastic. Like, and Marvel is never.
He's not Mr. Fantastic, is he?
He could be.
No, these two. I tell you who would be good, and I mentioned it on Saturday's show. Peter, I don't think I've seen it, but Anson Mount, who played the Inhuman, and he's in Star Trek right now, Strange Worlds. Yeah, he's playing Captain Pike. He looks like Mr. Fantastic. Cool. You know, I think he would be great. But anyways.
Who are you going for your 3 guests then, Efren?
You two, first of all. I would love to have dinner with both of you guys. I'm serious, I would. I just want to hang out with you guys.
Right. Who are we having fun with then? Who's the 3rd guy?
Okay. So the 3rd guy would probably be Steven Spielberg.
Yes.
Be interesting. Yeah. I just asked him about Catch Me If You Can the whole time.
Yeah. If it wasn't
it's my favorite.
If it wasn't you two guys, I would pick Jesus Christ to ask him what the hell's going on. You know,
what's going on?
What's going on in this world? And see, my other one would probably be Jack Kirby. You know, and then, but you know, you two for sure, top choice. You know,
good stuff. So for me, I'll say you two as well. But I think if
I feel like an asshole. Now I feel like
you are. Me and Efren are, you know, we knew what
I'd pick us and Pedro. We'd have a chat with Pedro.
I would go for one of my favorite actors, but if we're having a meal, I want to be entertained, right? So I'm gonna go for Nicolas Cage because I just think he would be entertaining beyond. But I want mad Nicolas Cage. I want kind of, you know, zany Nicolas Cage. He would be my comedy element, but also very, very knowledgeable about movies and stuff. So I think he'd be interesting to talk to. I'd then go Jim Carrey because I just adore the man, and I think funny, but also really, really intelligent as well. And then my last guest would be Fuzzy Dunlop. I've just seen his comment. Absolutely. So just so I can see what he's like. No, my last guest would probably be, again, just because the guy fascinates us, would be Stephen Fry. Efren, you might not be too familiar with Stephen Fry. He's a comedian over here in the UK, but he's incredibly intelligent. And he does a lot of great kind of speeches about religion and about war and about things like that, and he's phenomenal. So I just think that would be a great dynamic. We've got some interesting Canadian survivalists. I would come to this dinner. I really would. This would be fun. Jesus, Tesla, and Hitler would be that would be interesting.
To be fair, right? It would be fascinating to see Jesus and Hitler having a conversation together.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
this is the thing.
I'm curious.
If you're going for, you want an entertaining meal, don't you? So interesting. Fuzzy, I mentioned your name, bud. I mentioned your name. I thought you were going to say Christopher Reeve, Peter. Oh, dead man.
There's so many people you can choose. You know?
I would love to meet Christopher Reeve. He is such an inspiration. And again, absolutely again, you know, if you read his book, Still Me, that he wrote post-accident, it's just such a humbling book. It's stunning. Von Houtman, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Wow, that would be the funniest night of your life. Like just sitting and having a chat with Robin Williams. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a show, isn't it? You could just sit back and just watch and just eat. Yeah. Eddie Murphy, Patrick Stewart. Yeah, superb. Von Hout, I forgot to mention. I don't know if you are up to speed with Invincible, the cartoon, season 2. But Peter Cullen is voicing a character in it. As soon as he came on, me and my son looked at each other and said, "Is that Optimus Prime?" Which is really weird because he's playing a humanoid character, but you can't not hear Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit weird. But let us know if you've seen it. But yeah, great picks there, mate. Robin Williams would be a phenomenal choice. I would love that. Shocking array of facial hair at that table. Absolutely. MJ Comics. Just tuned in. What's with Jesus and Hitler talk? What we're asking, bud, is if you could pick 3 people to have dinner with from any point in time, who you're going to sit down for a meal with? Von Hoot saying yes, he's up to date with Invincible. Fuzzy, De Niro.
No, I didn't know fictional characters were on the table here.
Any character, anyone.
Fuck. I have to reevaluate then.
Yeah. De Niro would be tremendous. Have you seen Fuzzy? I don't know if you've seen, and I don't know if it's an old clip or if it's just something that I've come across, or if it's a new clip. But there's a brilliant kind of skit of De Niro and DiCaprio arguing over Scorsese. So Scorsese's in the middle, and the pair of them are kind of either side of him, trying to get his attention, saying, he's my director. It's really worth watching. It's quite funny. Dr. Von Hoot is bumping off Eddie Murphy for Christopher Reeve. It's a good choice. I like that, mate. I like that. So Howard and James, I'll give you a Hail Mary. If you could pick an animated character, or people from whatever. Yeah, open it up. We've got the 3 normal characters there. Anybody from science fiction, anything like that. Who do you want to have dinner with?
Ooh. We said animated. Jump into
anything you want.
Randy Marsh from South Park. It'd be funny.
Okay.
Really funny. Sci-fi.
See, I'm going to Kirk.
Start.
I want Kirk.
You grab your ass
Picard.
though. He's a sex pest. Like
I'd let him.
Yeah.
Kirk and Picard definitely, because I just think that would be superb. Who else would I want? I don't know. What about you, Efren? Anybody that jumps to mind?
Jabba the Hutt. He'd seem like a fun party guy.
Who, Efren?
Probably Batman, but he may be really silent. He may not.
That's it. He'd be a sad old bastard to sit.
Yeah, but you know he's buying dinner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go out with Batman, you're going to get a good meal, and he's going to put his hand in his pocket, isn't he? Yeah.
Let me see who else. Probably Tony Stark. I think it'd be fun hanging out.
He'd be great. Yeah, Tony Stark
would be great. And let me see, who would be my third choice? I'm trying to think of Miles Morales. I'd like to get a younger character there. Do it up. Yeah.
Anybody you want to add, James, before we move on?
Jerry Dandridge.
You're obsessed.
Really cool. I love him. He's great. Yeah. So sexy.
Okay. He is. He's a sexy.
Sexy.
Dead man said Daredevil. God, I forgot about him. Daredevil. Yeah.
Very cool. Right, I'm going to do another one of Fuzzy's questions because Fuzzy sent in some bangers. And this one's quite interesting, so I'm not sure what I think of this one. So, are there any conspiracy theories that you've heard of that you think could potentially be true or that you might believe? So I'll start off whilst you guys are... Fuzzy's going Dolly Parton. Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting.
Working 9 to 5.
I'll start off. So I saw a documentary a while ago about the Titanic, which was claiming that there was all kinds of insurance scams going on at the time, and that there was a huge insurance premium taken out on the Titanic the week before it sailed. Like with many of these conspiracy theories, I don't know if it's true or not, but the thought behind it was that it was all a big insurance scam. So I'm not sure. That's one that kind of jumped into my mind. What about you guys? Any conspiracy theories that jumped to mind?
I mean, they all potentially could be true. I just feel like some of them are so outlandish, like the moon landing, for example, being fake.
Bollocks, come on.
How many people would have to be involved in that and keeping it secret and like, and then some other ones, it's like, well, why, like the flat Earth thing, which is I knew a guy who was like dead on, like really believed that, and I was like, but why? Why is NASA lying about the Earth being around? Yeah. Do you know, like what's the purpose of that? You know, why pay off the millions of people to keep quiet on that if you know, for what purpose? So yeah, I mean, there's some of them, you know, there's iffy things involving various things, you know, 9/11 and moon landing, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't believe more than 100 people can shut up about anything. I don't believe you can keep 100 people quiet on anything. Like, but I know so many gossips in my life. There's just no way to keep that many people quiet. So anything that exceeds that amount of people being involved, I think, there's no way we wouldn't 100% know about that at this stage.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. What do you think, Efren? Any that jump to your mind?
Yeah, Area 51. The United States, there are aliens in there or not. The United States will never admit what's in there. It's a closed off military base. And that's been going on for over 50 years. They just won't say what's in there.
Could that just be a distraction though for something? Well, this is a conspiracy in its own right, isn't it? I'm starting to wonder, but like that could just be to get attention away from another thing,
I don't think so.
Or they're doing something else there that's like nothing to do with aliens.
Something's going on there, but they will never say. I think it's our right as citizens. We should know what's in there. It's not like it's going to ruin anything, but
Were you at that? Did they remember a while ago there was the whole storm, the Area 51 thing? Did that ever happen?
Yeah. I don't know, but it got a lot of power and heat behind it, didn't it? Did you see this, Efren, that there was a big social media thing of people who were going to storm Area 51?
They picked a day to show up and we're all going to just storm the front gates and get in.
And nothing happened?
I don't think so. I think some guys with guns showed up and that was it then at the end of the day.
I mean, I'm with you, Efren. I'm a big... I love UFO stories and all that kind of stuff. And Area 51 has been the center of a lot of that in the States for so bloody long,
Yeah.
Whether it's UFOs, whether it's just a kind of advanced technology testing area or something like that, I don't know. But there's definitely something going on. MJ Comics is just in here. Roswell 47. Yeah, that all ties into it as well, doesn't it? It's, interesting stuff.
Here's one. I fully 100% believe that this is the case. There was a guy, an inventor, like 60 years ago or something, and he invented a way for a car to run on water. Or it was water or vegetable oil or something like that. Just some really cheap way of running a car.
I've heard vegetable oil before.
He died then, like the day before he was presenting it or something like that, or it was being patented. So oil company fella had him bumped off. I think I think that's clear. I also think there's probably a cure for cancer out there that like pharmaceutical companies have hidden. It's cheap. There's more money in healing people than there is curing people. In treating people.
Yeah,
I know you're a medical professional. This is probably a stupid thing to say to you, but you don't believe that? You don't believe the pharmaceutical companies are hiding cures for things?
I choose to believe that that's not the case. Whether
do you think that's possible?
I think it's possible, yeah. But I choose to believe that people aren't that evil, But yeah, it's not good. But Fuzzy saying here, any 7-year-old could poke holes in the flat earth argument. Absolutely. Yeah. Guys, we're coming to the end of the show now. We've got 20 people watching, so thank you so much. Going to end with just a quick fire couple of questions. You guys may or may not have seen this on Instagram, but Superman, with or without trunks? What do you think?
With.
I like the trunks. Yeah, I'll go with as well. I think you can do them. You can do them cool. Like I feel you need something to break up the suit a bit. Like at least the belts. But some red there.
I agree. Yeah. I think it looks crap without the trunks. To be perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Pedro not in Mando season 4. Thoughts on that?
He's not in Mando season 3 either.
I know.
Yeah. They're talking about just having. I'm ashamed now. The character's name is Katie Sackhoff's character.
Yeah.
Take over for she's going to be the Mandalorian now. So,
you're not a fan?
No, he has to be in it.
He's the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, do I agree? Did I miss him?
Just don't make it. Don't make a fourth one.
I don't even know how much he was in the last season, to be honest.
Not at all. He just did voice work. He didn't do anything.
To be perfectly honest, the last season left us so flat. I'm happy if they just end it with him.
Just now,
in his little hut thing,
and keep him for the movie, for the Thrawn movie.
Oh God, I've triggered Dave. Mando.
No, he's right though. The season 3 was bad, really bad.
It was. Yeah. He's too busy being fantastic.
Bo-Katan, thank you. Yes, Bo-Katan.
Better Thief, Bo-Katan. Yeah, very cool. I'm happy for them to just leave it now. Yeah. Let's have a look. See, DC Fanatic asked, "What is the best DC movie of all time?"
Dark Knight. That's just easy. The Dark Knight. It's better than Superman 78. by a mock country mile. I would put Zack Snyder's Justice League second as well.
Shut up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Batman
that's my
89,
2
you've got
cents.
Superman.
Batman Returns is better.
No, it's not.
It is.
Superman.
Yeah.
I'm going Superman for the
Man of Steel is the best Superman movie.
Oh, James, shut up. Just shut up, man. It's a good
It is,
movie.
though.
I agree, it's a good movie.
No, it's
but
the best one. Easily.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. He mopes around for the entire friggin' movie, man. Superman's supposed
Learning
to
how to be
inspire-
Superman. Like
No, Superman's supposed to inspire hope. He doesn't. No. Whereas Christopher Reeve's Superman absolutely does. Fuzzy,
he has hope on
Watchmen-
his chest, Peter. The S stands for hope.
It doesn't. It doesn't in the original text. Fuzzy, Watchmen is superb. Absolutely. GP, cancel James. I agree.
That's it.
Now, this is a great point. Lisa's
Yeah.
saying the best DC movies are animated. I would absolutely agree with that. I think they've done some cracking animated movies. James, everybody's collectively disappointed in you.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think some of the animated DC movies are phenomenal.
Under the Red Hood. It's a fantastic one.
Under
I
the
love
Red
that
Hood.
one. Yeah.
Really looking forward to Kingdom. Is it Kingdom Come? No, Crisis. Sorry, they're doing Crisis, aren't they? So yeah, looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. Hope begins with an H. James. Thank you. You're right, mate. You're right. Dark Knight Returns 1 and 2 are excellent. Stunning, mate. Stunning. James is right. Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know.
One of the best movies ever made.
Yeah. Dead man saying, I'm definitely not fostering you now, James.
Damn it.
Yeah. The papers are
Ruined my
torn.
chances
The
there
papers
now,
are torn.
Burn.
Okay. Rapidly going through some of these. This is a good one. Andy the Movie Man says, what is the worst movie you've ever seen?
God.
Ooh, that's I mean, like some Catwoman, like is pretty bad, pretty fucking terrible. Yeah, that's a slog. That's a hard one to watch. And like me, I was 9, I think, when it came out. Big superhero buzz, and just was so deflated by that one. One in the cinema, the Black Friday, the most recent remake. So I think it's from a couple of years ago. I thought that was terrible. Like the closest I've ever come to walking out of the cinema. That and Huntsman Winter's War. I thought was pretty bad as well. Hated it. Yeah. Nearly walked out. I asked my mate, do you want to just go to the bar instead and have a pint instead of watching this? And he goes, no, I want to watch the rest of it. So I just stayed. Yeah.
I tell you, the only movies I've ever walked out of, and it was because peer pressure, it was my wife, made us walk out of the first Austin Powers movie because she just couldn't get the humor.
Wow.
And now it's one of my favourite movies. I
Yeah,
love Austin Powers. But it was just so fresh and so new and weird that it was just like going totally over.
Yeah.
Head. And is it Super Troopers or State Troopers or something?
Super Troopers, yeah.
Super Troopers. I think we walked out halfway through that because we just
I like Super Troopers. That's fun.
Yeah. I think Catwoman, you're right, is one of the worst films I've seen. How about you, Efren?
I had to look it up really quick. It's from a few years ago. Everybody was making such a big deal about this movie, but when I seen it, I went, "Oh my god!" La La Land with Emma Stone. The musical.
What?
I just
The worst movie you've ever seen is La La Land.
I'm just thinking of recent. You know, one. I'm just thinking of which movies that I didn't enjoy, and that one I seen it. And I was like, "Oh my god! What is everybody making such a big deal about this movie?"
Fucking Best Picture nominee, La La Land.
I thought it was
It's my
Heartfelt
opinion.
musical romance.
I thought
La
it
La
was
Land.
crap.
Excuse me, Pedro. Excuse me. Okay, so I seen this movie and I just went, "What's a big deal about this movie?" And I like musicals. I used to love, seeing like the original West Side Story, even the Steven Spielberg remake. I do like musicals, but this one I was like, "What's the big deal about this movie, man?" So I didn't like it at all.
I think it's charming. It's fantastic. I think.
Yeah.
So,
I think I watched, my daughter watched that, and I remember, I think I maybe missed the start of it, so I kind of came in a little way through. And does it end depressing as hell? Does it?
Yeah.
They don't get together and stuff.
No.
And
It shows them getting together, and then it shows that it's like that was like a imaginary what could have happened kind of thing, and they actually walked their separate ways. It's heartbreaking.
it's crap. Fuzzy
taste.
saying you should do this show every night. Scrap
Scrap
the
the
podcast. Dave, the Last Jet. Yeah.
Fuck
The
off.
Last Jedi.
Come on. There's a difference between a bad movie and a movie you don't like, okay?
That's true. I didn't like that movie. It wasn't a bad. I didn't like it.
Not a bad movie. I just didn't like it.
Can I just say to people, I spent probably far too long, 5 days or something, 4 days on the trot with James, and this rage level doesn't dissipate. This is everything. You know,
it gets worse with pints.
If there's not enough sausages at the buffet, we're flipping tables and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
I patiently went, and I went back up with the little plate and got the extra sausages, and I got you chicken as well. You're welcome. You didn't bother your ass getting me orange juice, did you, in the morning? Fucking went and got himself orange juice, didn't ask anybody else, would you like a juice? No, I'll get it myself.
Honestly. Grease 2, absolutely, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Von Hoot's still here, is he?
Von Hoot, hopefully, yeah. But Christ, yeah. Bonfire of the Vanities. Dead Man, I don't know if I've even seen that.
I remember that movie. I've never seen it, but I remember the title.
Yeah. Big Dave. Meg 2. It's rough. It is rough. Pat Dan, Star Wars 7, 8, and 9. Flying Lear, yeah, not a good look. And the rage is real, people. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I think we've done pretty much most. Last question, guys. Last questions, and we'll call it a night. What is the first? This is from Comic Lad Chris. What is the first comic stroke toy you can remember having?
What? Repeat that. Comic what?
What's the first comic or toy that you can remember having? I'll start off. I obviously had loads of comics and toys when I was. Sorry.
What?
Sorry. Von Hoot woke up. God, it's all kicking off. Epic movie. Yeah. Dunstan checks in. Jesus, Fuzzy. I forgot all about Dunstan checks in. That's awful.
Never seen it.
You've never seen it? It's about an orangutan. Yeah, a thief orangutan. He says it is. It's pretty bad. I saw a 90s Spider-Man trailer once. It looked awful.
Christian Slater. Yeah, you're just barely lost that episode.
Yeah. So yeah, best. Oh, sorry. The toys that stick in my mind, the toys and comics that stick in my mind most. Like I say, I will have had things before this, but the ones that stick in my mind most is Stratos from Masters of the Universe, the Birdman. I remember going down to London to visit my auntie and uncle who lived down there, and going to a big supermarket, and it was the first time I'd ever bought a He-Man figure. Everyone's collapsed. You've upset everyone.
It's better to mute yourself first, and then
everyone's smashing the house up. So I went and I bought Stratos, and it's a figure that I've always wanted to buy back in my collection. Comic book, like I say, I will have had lots more before this, but particularly sticker albums. I remember Transformers and Thundercat sticker albums, but it was the original. Secret Wars, Marvel UK Secret Wars. Yeah. Efren, how about yourself?
Okay, I stepped away because I had to go get it. I used to collect these as a kid. These toys, they're not action figures per se, but I actually bought one about 5 years ago. They're monsters, like Universal monsters, and they used to glow in the dark. Their heads, you know. And
you showed
one up. I showed you this one before.
Yes.
So I just got this on eBay. It doesn't glow in the dark anymore, but I just wanted to get this. I used to collect these like crazy. I used to love them. You know, Frankenstein, Dracula. You know, so
that's really cool.
Yeah, I go, man. I seen this on eBay. Just brought back memories, so I decided to get one. You know, as far as comic books, I wish I could remember the first one. I know it was a Marvel book, but I just don't remember which one. I'm pretty sure it was Fantastic Four, but the number I just don't remember.
Yeah, and this is the problem. The older you get, the more distant the memories are. Dave's just commenting on your T-shirt saying how much he likes it, mate.
He asked me a question. There was a fight about a week ago with the Golden State Warriors where the basketball player got somebody in a chokehold and they suspended him 5 games. I thought he's gone overboard, this player, you know. So, yeah, I didn't like that at all, you know.
Von Hoot is just saying Transformers Skids is the first you remember getting. Yeah, I remember getting. There was me and my 2 cousins. My grandma bought all 3 of our Transformers for Christmas when it first came out, and I remember they all got really cool looking ones. and I got, is it Ironhide? Confirm in the chat. Hoot, the red one. It looks great in vehicle mode, but when you transformed it to a robot, it looked shit. It had like a sticker smiley face thing on. It looked dreadful, and they all had really cool ones. But yeah, that's my first Transformer. How about you, James?
First toy I ever remember getting was after, because my birthday is just a little bit after Christmas, so obviously I'd watched Spider-Man, became obsessed, and then for my birthday my dad used to bring me the Smiths every year, and it's £100, just get what you want. So I'd go I remember getting the Toy Biz, the like tattered kind of from the end fight Spidey and a Green Goblin and stuff like that. So I remember those various kind of Toy Biz Marvel Legends. I remember kind of getting as I was younger, like had a Ben Affleck Daredevil and stuff like that. But it's funny, I'm actually happy this question came up because I've recently been clearing out storage, and this is probably the oldest toy I have in my possession at the moment from like my childhood. But it was the last Christmas present my nan gave me before she passed away. And you're gonna like this, Peter. It's a He-Man power sword.
Very cool.
Doesn't the button? I have to replace the batteries, but it goes like I have the power when you press the button on it, and they make sound effects and stuff. But yeah, it's
very cool.
I had to keep that one, so yeah, it's cool. So yeah,
tremendous. James, what about games? What's the first video game that you remember getting or playing on?
My sister had a PS1, so like my entire life I remember having a PlayStation in the house. So I think Spyro, it would have been Spyro or Crash. I think the Spyro was the earliest one I remember, and then the first time I got my own one, I got PS2 and I got X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge with it. So I remember waking up at 6 a.m. and my dad had to get the neighbor to come over and hook it up because I didn't know how to hook up to the TV and playing that. I was so excited. So yeah, that was
I remember. Cool. I mean, I had computers before I had a games system. So I had Commodore 16 plus 4, Commodore 64, and Amiga. But the first games machine I got was a Mega Drive, I think, and I remember playing Altered Beast on it and just
I used to play that.
Love
It's funny enough, the X2 Mark Hamill plays Wolverine in it. Even though it's Hugh Jackman on the box, it's like he has the blue hair in the game, and Mark Hamill voices him, and he's really good.
Very cool.
My first game was Pong. I used to play Pong on my TV. I never had so much fun. Just two little, going up and down. Just
was that just fucking mind blowing at the time? Yes. You move the stick and.
I was like, oh my god, I was mesmerized by.
Now they look like
video
movies.
games that much, but I was like, oh my god, I got so into that.
James, that's a really good point because I mean, Efren's mentioned Pong there, but I remember my first kind of interaction with games would have been. Like I say, Commodore 16 plus 4 or text adventures on the old BBC computers and stuff like that. And it was mind-blowing back then. If you think of seeing this, look at a mobile phone now. Do you know what I mean? We're so used to seeing mobile phones. My first mobile phone was like a brick. You could do nothing with it apart from, what was the game? No, Snake.
Oh, Snake, and the Nokias. Yeah, I used to love playing that. Yeah.
And I thought I was the coolest person in the world because I got mine. So it was a flip phone. Like Kirk's communicator. Yeah. So I used to go every time I opened it, and the girls ran, obviously.
I bet,
not toward us, unfortunately. Couple of comments, guys. We've got one last question, and it's a YouTubey one, but so we'll end on that. So Deadman is saying Lois Lane 51 was his first American comic. Wow, that's an older book, Deadman. I can't remember what the date on that is, but I bet that's a canny one. Fuzzy Babe Baracus figure, first I remember owning and loving. Yeah, I used to love the A-Team. Again, golden ages of TV. We had A-Team, Airwolf. You ever seen Airwolf? The helicopter one?
No.
Street Hawk, Manimal. That was a good one.
You might be making these up as far as I'm concerned.
Knight Rider.
I know Knight Rider.
Some tremendous stuff. Ironhide. Yeah, it was Ironhide. Thanks very much, mate. Thank you for that. Dead Man, in relation to your birthday and Christmas, you're lucky, James. It always combined, mate.
Oh, they do now. Yeah, this is during a period called the Celtic Tiger, where everyone in Ireland was rich. So yeah, I got separate presents back then. Yeah.
Maniac Miner, can't remember that one. Not sure that one, mate. Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. I remember Duck Hunt on the NES.
I used to love Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic.
Yeah.
And again, Efren, we're of the golden age, I guess, where we're there at the very start. I remember buying Sonic when the first iteration of Sonic, playing it, and just amazing.
Bubble Bobble.
Yeah,
I like Bubble Bobble, the two little dinosaurs. Yeah.
Tetris. Rampage was a big one. I know that's been
Rampage is great. Yeah,
yeah. The original Rampage game was amazing.
Mm.
Atari Space Invaders, yeah, played that one. Dork's Dilemma as well, I think was the one I remember playing. On Hoot.
That was the deal, was it?
Sucking my thumb for 6 months to get a Commodore 64. Yeah. Strider, not sure of that one, GP.
Yeah, it's like you're like kind of sort of a fantasy ninja kind of thing. There's been some kind of newer ones lately, like side scrolling again. They look quite cool.
Remember Shinobi on Sega?
Shinobi, yeah, or Ninja Gaiden.
Boy. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're reminiscing games. So last question, and I apologise, it's a YouTubey one, but TM asked, what is the best and worst bits of being a YouTube content creator? So we'll start with you, James. What's the best and the worst bits?
Worst, it sort of changes. Like I had my own channel for a while now. I'm doing the kind of One Good Scare. So there's kind of two different cons to that. There really is nothing more deflating than working super hard for days on a video and putting it out and it gets 20 views. That's just really heartbreaking and kind of deflating. Then with like One Good Scare, honest to God, it's just I feel like I'm just editing calls constantly now. Like it's like a lack of free time because I'm and that's a choice, like to put out that much stuff, but that's what we're going for. But yeah. Plus, I mean, when a video hits, and I think not even the community kind of asked, like the people that comment every time, people that show their support. That's just really touching, and like honestly, it only takes one person to say, "Hey, man, I love this. This was great. Like I watched this video." Whether it's someone you know, or it's really touching when it's somebody you've never seen before, and they just go, "I like what you do." And that's, I think, really gives you a boost, Yeah.
How about you, Efren?
The best is last year at Comic-Con in 2022. Some people actually came up to me and said, "Hey, are you Passpoint comics from YouTube?" I go, "Yeah, I am." So that was pretty cool. People just saying hi to me. I go, "Wow."
I get people, "Hey, you're from Triple G's channel." I'm like, "Yeah." I've had that a few times. Yeah.
I do like creating stuff, making the content. I keep on mentioning this site, but we all share Canva, and I like going on there, just doing all the different things you can do for thumbnails or quick videos. Yeah. Unfortunately, the worst too. And my daughter said, "Dad, you didn't get into this for this reason. You just wanted to make YouTube videos." And I do get bummed out when I don't get that many people to check out my videos. I think it's just human nature, but I try not to think about it. My daughter reminds me, "Why did you get into it in the first place? Just to have fun."
Yeah.
Dude, you just got into it to have fun. And, if it wasn't for this, we would never have met. And anybody that's in the comments too, Dr. Von Hoot, GP, would never have met any of you guys if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
So for me, it's, I think you guys have summed up my thoughts perfectly, really. It's the joy you get from interaction with people. So meeting all of you guys really is the chat. There are some of the people in the chat here who've been with me since day one, and I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. But also a bit like you, Efren, to be honest, I mean this in the politest possible way, Efren, but I'm an older guy, and learning new skills, and I know my editing's nowhere near as good as, say, James's, but learning new skills like the editing or the Canva, that excites us, and I enjoy that process,
absolutely.
The worst bit is absolutely, if you put your heart and soul into a video and it doesn't do well. I've kind of come to the conclusion now that there's no rhyme or reason. The only time I do get irritated with it slightly is if I do I'm just going to use an example. Say we've been to a convention and I put a convention video out and someone else puts a convention video out. Mine gets 40 views, theirs gets 500. And you kind of think,
and you're on the same kind of ballpark.
But I think timing is all about that. I think what I'm not good at is getting the video out at the time of the convention. It's normally a week or two later. So I think, if you get in there early. But I think for me, overall, it really has been this. I mean, look at tonight. We've had 20 people in the chat. We've had loads of great comments. That's what I enjoy from it, and enjoy the chat. Just jumping into the chat. And I do want to mention this because GP is mentioning here about getting 50,000 subs. It's the shits. Now, I know he actually means that because I know he's had a hard time. In GP's channel went through the roof because he got some successful shorts, and it really snowballed. But I know that's actually not been a pleasant experience for him. So I think there is something about that, being mindful of success isn't always a good thing, I guess. Fuzzy, the term content creator. That's why I did that, Fuzzy. Yeah.
We are content creators, though. That's the thing. We're not, but we're not influencers. Although you got free, you do get free shit though, so that must be a plus. I've not gotten free shit. Yeah.
I mean, either.
yeah. But I think I think Fuzzy's. My view is me, and I think you guys are the same. We've getting into this because we enjoy it and we enjoy having the fun. I don't take this seriously, if you know what I mean. Nah. Whereas I think some people take it really seriously and really do think they're going to produce work that changes the world or is going to get them millions and stuff like that. That'd be lovely, but for me, it's just about having fun. I mean, look at tonight. What we talk bollocks tonight. Do you know what I mean? But it's been fun and it's been a good laugh. Fuzzy, it pisses me off when people don't like my Insta posts. I'd last about 45 minutes on YouTube channel. Bollocks to that. Yeah, Fuzzy, and it is, the thing is, you do become, and I'm guilty of this myself, even though I say I'm not at times, you do become very aware of how many people view your stuff. But more importantly for me, you become very aware of who's not viewing it, and you almost start looking to see, oh, has such and such commented or has such and such liked, and you build a narrative around that. It's very easy to kind of get wrapped up in the whole overanalyzing and overthinking stuff, I think. Lisa, enjoyed this live. I think I found you guys from Simple Simon. Yeah, thank you, Lisa. I really do appreciate that. Simple Simon is a great guy. Yeah. Deadman Deadman saying if you took it too seriously, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think you have to have fun. It comes off on camera when it's all business, Yeah. Whereas we're from friends having a conversation. I think that's what people like.
And Deadman saying you all talk about what you love, and that can't be a bad thing. Absolutely, mate.
I do this without a camera on, like just meet up twice a week and talk for a couple hours, but it's just nice to have so many, So.
Yeah. Last few comments, guys, and we're going to call it a night. Big Dave, I think when I said I met you and James, I admire you guys doing YouTube, making the time and putting in the work. I couldn't even keep my Insta up to Yeah. There's no denying it. It does take a toll time-wise.
Yeah.
Not that I need any like I'm a one-man wrecking machine, obviously. Lone Ranger. And now I've got a vision of Fuzzy in like a Lone Ranger mask.
I did literally exactly, doing the on his gun holster. Yeah.
Okay, listen, thank you very much to you two. You know how much I enjoy spending time with you guys. You keep me going, so thank you for that. And a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys have been phenomenal tonight. It's been a real interesting show, this. We weren't sure how well these shows would go in terms of having topics and stuff to talk about, but we filled an hour and a half here, guys. So I think we've done very, very well with it. So I think we'll probably try and roster this in once a month or once every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
And keep it going. Yeah. Great. Okay, then. With that, chaps, we will call it a night. Sorry, before we do that, just to quickly jump on. James, what have we got coming up on One Good Scare?
We have a Thanksgiving spoiler. We have a non-spoiler review and now a spoiler review up on the channel. And this Friday we'll have a new episode of I'll Be Right Back where we're talking about the 2021 film Black Friday.
And for all those of you that have been in the comments of other shows saying you need to review something you don't like, you asked and we deliver. That's all I can say.
So stop going on about it.
Efren, how about your channel, mate?
You and I, Peter, we're going to do our advanced orders, and I also started doing another live show with Peter where we just ask each other 5 questions.
Yeah.
Almost something like this, but they just come from us. And you guys are going to hate me for this, but actually, let me say one more thing. On the first weekend of December, I'm going to Los Angeles Comic-Con on a Saturday. So if it's any good, Peter, and if you want me on your show, just a quick report of it. I'll be there Saturday. Yeah. And on December 14th, you guys are going to hate me, but I'm going back to Disneyland for Christmas. So.
Christmas at Disney.
Christmas at Disney. I did Halloween at Disneyland, so me and my daughter were going back on December 14th. I'll be going live on Instagram, showing,
Don't blame me, man. I'd go every chance I got if I was a
I
couple
like
hours away.
every day. Yeah, every day, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. I love that effort, and I love that you get the chance to do that with your daughter. So very,
it's always fun. Yeah.
Fuzzy, Rogue One, my bad. Yeah, he's just been asking people to thumbs down with, but yeah. So on my channel, I mean, I've got loads of content, as you all know, but tomorrow night, sorry, absolutely Von Hoot, absolutely, mate. You'll hear all about it on Friday. So I went to a toy fair on Saturday and I picked up some very cool stuff. So I've got a video coming out tomorrow about my exploits at this toy fair. And I met a YouTuber there completely by coincidence. I bumped into a guy me and James are aware of called Super Sorrel. He was sat selling toys, so that was quite nice. And then rest of the week, I've got a comic video out on Sunday, probably going live on Saturday night. I'm on call at the weekend, so it just depends how busy the week is leading up to that, but most likely go live Saturday night. Okay, guys, that's it. That's your whack. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching, and we will catch you all next time. Bye bye.